Now entering Nerdist.com.
Hello and welcome to Today We Learned number 21.
21, drinking age.
The first one of 2014, you guys. I can't believe it.
Happy New Year.
It's already been 21 episodes.
This is after, when you're done listening to this, it'll be 21 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, we've already recorded it, so we've had 21, but you guys need to embark on this journey with us.
It's a long time. When you really think about it, it's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, that's 7 podcasts in dog years.
Yeah, and they're all like average around, television drama.
Yeah, we got
length,
about
which is like 44 minutes. So
with commercials, it's about 21 hours of content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty sweet. But you're probably asking yourself, guys, how do you bring all this content to us without putting money up yourselves? Well, you know what? We had a little help. In the interest of full disclosure, today's episode is brought to you by T-Fury. TFury.com is your original pop culture t-shirt destination. They've been selling unique designs every day since 2008, and you can snag their shirts for 24 hours only starting at midnight.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing a T-Fury shirt right now. I'm holding it up to the mic. I don't know if you guys can see it.
I can see it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's a really sweet Game of Thrones shirt featuring Jon Snow. Jon Snow. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Anyway, so say you guys are missing a shirt from the past. You want to get it again?
Yeah, I want to get it.
Head to the T-Fury Gallery, where you can buy some old designs still in print, vote on others to come back from the dead, much like a White Walker. Every 2 to 4 weeks, T-Fury adds more designs to their gallery, so be sure to keep an eye out for the return of your favorite shirts. As I mentioned, they cover all your favorite topics and fandoms, like Game of Thrones, gaming, sci-fi, anime, TV, movies, pop culture, and more. Their T-shirts change daily, so be sure to check back as often as you like, and don't forget, Razzle, about the T-Fury After Hours sale.
Hold on. Because I'm trying to comprehend the concept of these shirts are only on sale for the day.
Yeah.
So you have 24 hours to buy the shirts.
Yeah.
And if you don't buy it in that 24 hours, you can't buy it? Or what is this? Tell me. I'm confused.
Not quite. After Hours, not just a great movie starring Griffin Dunn, it is also a sale that T-Fury has. If you miss the day's shirt only by a little bit, they keep the sale going to the wee hours of the morning. Just for you.
Okay, so the shirts are technically on sale for like 25.
They're on sale until you go to bed is the way I like to think about it.
Okay.
Because, technically, if you're up late tonight, it's going to be, you're listening to this at late tonight, start at 11 something, going to finish around midnight.
Yeah.
It's going to be Tuesday morning, but you're not going to call it Tuesday morning. You're not a monster.
Nope.
You're going to call it Monday.
Monday night.
And Monday's another day. That means another t-shirt on tfury.com. This January, T-Fury has some fantastic shirts that'll make great gifts for the pop culture enthusiast in your life. Maybe you forgot to get someone something for Christmas and you want to make up for it. What better way to make up for it than with a sweet T-shirt? That's what I always say.
My birthday's in March. So
birthday's in March. My half birthday's in March. So get me just the bottom half of a T-shirt.
I'll take a full
Razzle
shirt.
can have the crop top.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
So please, guys, check out tfury.com. See what today's shirt is all about. T-Fury. Wear your art on your sleeve.
Wear your art on your sleeve. tfury.com. Not to be confused with Kung Fury, a movie that I can't wait to come out. If you're on a computer, YouTube Kung Fury, and your mind's going to be blown with just the awesomest fake movie trailer ever, and they're raising money to make it into like an actual 20-minute movie. It's just so fucking awesome. Kung Fury on YouTube, do that right now. But also, go to T-Fury.
Yes, if you like the sound, if you like the dulcet tones of our voices, please go to tfury.com.
Tfury.com.
Maybe, you know what? Here's a challenge. Design a Kung Fury shirt. Your design could get sold on tfury.com.
Yeah.
See that? Marry the two worlds.
I'm designing a shirt I'm going to submit to T-Fury. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you guys because you'll take my idea before I find an artist to draw it because I'm not good at drawing.
No spoilers, everyone.
No spoilers. But anyways, tfury.com. Wear your art on your sleeve. Buy some T-shirts, especially if you're girls. I love girls and nerdy T-shirts, so buy some nerdy T-shirts. Anyways, fuck it. Here we go.
Wait, no. We got to tell people what we got today. We got to tell people.
I know.
Yeah.
You're tfury.com.
T-Fury. T-Fury, if you're listening, we're so sorry.
This is a great episode.
Yeah.
Not only is it our first episode of the new year, but joining us as a guest is a very funny friend of mine, Nick Rutherford.
Nick Rutherford.
He produces on Fox's ADHD.
So if you like their frenetic style of cartoon comedy, Axe Cop, Lucas Brothers Moving Co., Golan, it's phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. He's also a really funny stand-up comedian.
Yeah, and you may know him as a member of the popular sketch comedy troupe Good Neighbor.
Yeah, really funny group. group.
Yeah, like a good neighbor, Nick Rutherford's here on Today We Learned.
Absolutely. So you guys are in for a treat. Some of you are back to work after a week off. Some of you have been working for a while.
Yeah.
So
some of you are unemployed. We're not here to judge. We're here to educate.
Here's the deal: you're unemployed. You have money from whatever. Buy T-Fury shirts
or food, whatever you need. Make smart choices. Sit back, relax,
and enjoy.
Open your ear holes.
To Today We Learned number 21.
Today We Learned.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, yeah. The red is the right, and our headphones, they're color-coded on the left and the right, and on the right, there's a little red stripe.
But if you're colorblind, just put the brown ear on whatever.
The brown ear on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? My right. Your right. Stage right, stage left.
Anyways. Our right. So readjust yourselves.
We want to thank you guys for joining us again. Welcome back. We took a week off last week for the holiday.
Yeah, happy holidays. Happy New Year. Hope you haven't already broken your resolutions.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody had a safe Christmas, safe New Year, safe Hanukkah, safe any holiday you celebrate. Yeah. Hopefully you guys had fun, safe times, made some resolutions, and you learned some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps on this very podcast.
Perhaps you were like, I didn't learn anything last week because I couldn't listen to you guys.
That would be a great resolution for 2014. Yeah. Just resolve to listen to every episode of this podcast.
Well, you have 20 to backlog.
We believe in you, and unlike the gym, there won't be hordes of people just waiting and swooping in like vultures on the ellipticals.
As always, my name is Razzle.
And I'm Dan.
And with us is a very funny friend of mine, very funny comedian, writer, actor, etc., Nick Rutherford.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Nick. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me.
No, I always wonder, because I know you as Nick. In my phone, for some reason, I have it saved as Nicholas. I know sometimes it's written as Nicholas, sometimes it's written as Nick. What do you generally prefer? Do you prefer Nicholas Rutherford or Nick Rutherford?
I think I prefer Nick. It takes it to a more casual level, makes people more comfortable around me. Nicholas, people get intimidated very easily, and they kind of shut down.
Yeah, it sounds. Whenever you hear someone's full name, it always feels like they're being scolded a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, my full name is Nicholas Joseph Walter Rutherford.
My goodness.
Two middle names.
Yeah. My mom was a little nuts with that. My brother's name is Jonathan Bentley Beauregard Rutherford.
That's a good name. Like
he's got cooler middle names.
He could be like a billionaire industrialist, or he could tie damsels to railroad tracks.
Yeah, no, he definitely lucked out. His name, he goes by Bo, which is a great name. I go by Nick, which I'm in a room of 4 people. There's probably 2 of them named Nick, or have like a middle name Nick. So I did not get lucky.
I'd go as Bentley. Why does your brother not go as Bentley?
I know. I know, right?
It's Bentley. He could concoct a whole backstory.
You don't want people making luxury car jokes about you your whole life, do you?
Bentley Rutherford,
as opposed to Bo-Staff Rutherford.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Beauregard.
Beauregard. See, that's a cool fucking name too. Yeah. Beauregard.
That's
awesome.
I have a friend with a crazy name as well. Okay. I doubt he's listening to this, but maybe his ears will start burning. He'll seek it out. His name is Cantwell Faulkner Mukenfoos IV.
That's not real.
That is a real name. The first time I heard it, I said the same thing. He's very real.
And he goes by Nick?
He goes by Cantwell.
Cantwell, that's good. Yeah.
I'll have to suggest Nick to him.
Just go by.
Don't, because we don't need any more. Yeah.
Well, that's why I changed my name to Razzle, because my real name's Eric, and there's just, when I was going to grade school and all that, there's like 4 Erics. There's a lot of Erics. And I'm like, there doesn't need to be another Eric in comedy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I meet one more Eric, so help me God.
Oh, damn you, Erics!
Yeah, there was a long time I was like, I should have just gone by Walt or Walter Rutherford, because that sounds like a guy who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then Breaking Bad got big.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad I didn't go by Walt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like Walt Rutherford would host like a like a This Old House style show.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a lot of home restoration, like very handsy.
Yeah, like just a historical like construction. You
Yeah,
know?
sorry, I meant handy, not handsy. I realized that.
No, well, yeah, but he's grabbing grabbing a lot of ass.
Grabbing nuts and bolts
Yeah.
and screwdrivers. Who knows what else?
He's like that. Who was the original host of Family Feud?
Oh, the guy who played Al Borland on.
No.
No, he's not the original, but yeah.
He was
He's the original in my
He
heart.
was the guy on Running Man. He was like the host of that show on Running Man. Dawson,
really?
Richard Dawson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Richard, I think that was his name, right?
Richard Dawson. He hosted. I forgot about that. Running Man is so good.
He,
It's so good.
It'd be like the Richard Dawson of like building like construction shows where he kisses all the girls and he touches.
He kissed
he's
everyone on that show.
he kissed
A lot of
everybody on that
smooching.
show.
Wait, that's crazy. So he hosted like the most family-friendly game show.
Yeah, family
and then
friendly.
on a movie hosted like the most horrible post-apocalyptic death game show. That's great.
Just get one of those faces.
Is that when they switched over to Al Borland?
Yeah, probably. I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
he
really
was the
tainting the brand.
Al Borland was the third because then there was that one dude who killed himself. There was Richard Dawson, and then there was that other guy.
There was Richard Dawson, Louis Anderson, Steve Harvey, Al Borland. Not in that order per se.
There's
I'm just
another guy
naming-
though. There's another guy who ended up killing himself. He went crazy and killed himself. He had like brown hair.
Curse of the Family Feud.
Yeah, what's it? Well, we're looking it up right here while we're killing time. Daniel, we'll find
Ray
it.
Combs?
Yeah,
is that
maybe.
him?
Yeah, that's it. Ray Combs.
Yeah, yikes.
That guy ended up killing himself. If I'm
Oh my
correct.
God, that's
What?
brutal. He hanged himself in the closet of a psychiatric ward in Glendale.
And
That
that's
is-
60 people said that answer. Yeah, so that's actually the top. That's the top answer. So that's,
Louis Anderson with the chance to steal.
Survey says
Survey says-
he hanged himself. If you were to hang yourself in Glendale, how would you do it?
in a closet. Find the smallest, saddest closet.
If you find yourself needing a fix of Family Feud, just turn on Game Show Network at any hour of the day because they are always showing episodes from like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
So that's a fact.
Cool. Well, while we're starting off this show, obviously we learned stuff about Nick's middle name. But Nick, if you have anything interesting about yourself that you brought, or if you have something you learned recently, we like to start with the guests providing a little bit of trivia for the audience.
Well, I think this is kind of interesting. I was talking about this with somebody today. I was a child actor, and one of my first roles, I was one of the players on the Tracy Ullman show, the original Tracy Ullman show that launched The Simpsons.
Really?
Yeah, I played Tracy Ullman and Dan Castellaneta's son when they did this like reoccurring sketch where they were like this rich, terrible couple.
Oh, wow.
They were like this waspy, horrible, rich, like just horrible couple, and I played like their bratty boy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. So you've been in the business a while then. Like you started when you were a kid.
Yeah, I did my first commercial when I was 3 years old.
Holy shit.
Wow.
What commercial was that?
It was for Flintstones vitamins.
Ooh,
no
did
way.
you get free gummy bites?
No, they didn't have the gummy technology then.
No, really? It was like still the chewable tablets?
Yeah, the chalky.
Yeah.
But I loved them.
Okay.
I don't know if I got any, but I did one time eat a whole bottle of them because they just tasted like candy and like
It's got
vomited.
super healthy.
Yeah, had super strength.
Yeah,
always.
it's weird how medicine doesn't work like that. You'd think it would, but
No.
no.
That doesn't happen in video games. Like you can't take too much.
Yeah.
Of, like health and then
Yeah.
you just tap
Sorry, you
out.
had too many health kits. You're addicted
Yeah,
to morphine.
Yeah.
You're playing Mega Man
Now
2
you're-
and you had
you're
too
a
many
junkie.
Yeah. Too many power-ups, guy.
Too
you're
many
gonna die.
glowing white balls.
Yeah, actually, I will say, there's a game called Fallout where there's certain like boosters and stuff like that, and you can get addicted to those. And if you don't,
yeah.
you start getting withdrawal symptoms.
That's why I don't play Fallout.
Yeah, yeah.
Because fuck you, Fallout.
Right?
Like, are you serious? Like I just want to be strong this whole time.
No, man, you got to cope with some serious shit.
Do you have to go to meetings?
You just
in
gotta
a burnt-out
All you have to do
shelter?
is find a doctor and give them bottle caps. Then they will.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least the
give him
solution's
give
simple.
him the pop top, the
Yeah, I'll need. You send in your
the
cereal
pop
box
tops?
tops.
yeah.
Turn in enough ploids.
That's funny.
Well, I'm
That's
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool, Nick. So
I'm
you helped-
looking at your.
So, in other words, Nicholas helped launch The Simpsons. So, just that.
Yeah. Really been capitalizing on the success ever since.
Yeah, they named Dr. Nick after him.
That's right.
Hi, everybody.
I'm actually looking at your IMDb page right now. It says here you played Caroler number 3 on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in 1990.
That's right. Yeah, and that was an episode, character number 3. I feel like that diminishes the role a little bit.
Well, that's what it says on IMDb.
Yeah.
I'm just reading what the internet's telling me.
No, actually, they nailed it. I just knocked on the door of the mansion and sang a carol. But it was this. They had Evander Holyfield on the show.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up meeting him and
cool.
got a signed pair of boxing gloves from it. This is when he had both of his ears.
Yeah.
It was a long time before, and that was a good time. I remember they had a weird guy who played. Here's a fact you may not know: if a party trick, you can put some water in a wine glass and then run your finger on the top of it, and it whistles. It
Oh yeah, the singing glasses.
Yeah, it has to be a crystal glass. But, which I don't know what the difference between crystal glass and regular glass is.
I think crystal's more expensive. I'm sure there's a more technical definition.
Right. It's a price point.
Yeah.
And this guy had a whole table of them filled to different levels, and he would play songs on them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He was just on set doing that?
Yeah, I think he was just that was their warm-up band. Yeah. Or maybe he was.
Was it
Too many glasses.
Yeah.
Was it a live studio audience?
It was, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool.
Wow.
At the time, none of it seemed cool or fascinating. It was just kind of what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's always grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah. It was just a job.
Yeah. Well, part of the reason I bring that up is because this week, December 31st, James Avery, the actor who was famous for playing Uncle Phil on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, passed away. Complications of open heart surgery.
Yeah.
But
At the age of 68.
68, yeah. I was reading a really cool story today. Someone posted an excerpt from a Will Smith biography by this woman, Lisa Iannucci. And apparently when James Avery auditioned for the role of Uncle Phil in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he had no idea who Will Smith was. So when he entered the room, Will Smith had his feet up on a table, his hat on sideways, and Avery told him to put his feet down, turn his hat around, and he wound up getting the part because it's just automatic, stern father figure mode. He just thought this guy was like, "Dude, what are you doing? Come on, behave yourself."
I hate stories like that. You could have just oh yeah, you just got to be yourself in an audition room and say whatever you want. Yeah. And then that could just have easily gone the other way where Will Smith was like, fuck this guy. Next.
Well, he did that to his mom. They recasted the mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe she wasn't stern enough.
There was 2 mothers or 2 aunts. Aunt Vivian, I think, was her name.
It's very progressive.
He had there was one who was there was one who was like Don Cheadle, then there was another one who was like a little lighter. I don't know the names. I mean, that's very offensive, and I get it, but I don't know how else to explain that there was 2 different moms that were obviously two different.
I thought you meant she looked like Don Cheadle.
No.
No,
I'm talking about the shades.
Of course. To a wild racist, there's no other way to describe them. Yes.
Here's the deal. If I was
50 Shades of Mom.
If I was writing a book, I would have to explain it somehow. I mean, it's all in fun and games. I mean, there's no ill will behind it, but there's 2 different aunts, and they were very different from each other.
Gotcha.
Hey, I think you're just digging this whole.
How do I get out of here?
Well, let me tell you another quick fact about James Avery. He also he had a really prolific career, but he had some voice acting work that some people don't know about. He voiced War Machine, James Rhodes, who's played by Don Cheadle, Speak of the Devil, on the Iron Man animated series.
Oh, he did.
Remember that.
That's the thing.
Played a guy named Junkyard Dog in Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, that old show. And my favorite, he was the voice of Shredder on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No way.
Turtles.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, that was Uncle Phil.
Okay.
Wow. Do you guys remember that show Cops? That animated show Cops?
Is that where they're cats?
No, it was just like this big, huge black guy was like the detective, and his name was Bulletproof.
Okay.
It was a
tagline
1988 series.
Yeah, it was it's crime fighting time. And the guy who played what's his face, and maybe he's a fan of the podcast because we're trying to find him actually because we really want to cast him in the Major Lazer cartoon.
Okay.
But nobody can find him. He did that and that's it. He just
the guy who played Bulletproof.
Yeah,
his name is Ken Ryan. And his article on Wikipedia is a stub. The plot thickens.
See, he's very difficult to find.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, Ken Ryan.
Hey, Ken Ryan.
audio recording time.
That's interesting that you bring that up, Nick, because joining us today is Mr. Ken Ryan. Bring him up.
Holy shit, he's here.
It's crime fighting. Like, that's the only thing he says.
That's why he never worked
It
again.
never worked.
Like,
He practiced that voice, and he just keeps going back to, it's crime.
it's
Like,
crime fighting
all right,
time.
can you...
That's the only thing he can say in that voice.
Look, do you need some money, Ken? What's going on, man? It's crime fighting time.
Do you get
like-
royalties every time you say it?
It's crime fighting.
He's like one of those pull string toys that has that gets stuck on that
Yeah,
one
the one
thing.
chip. Yeah.
This is another important detail about the Cops animated series. The crooks would shout, "Crime's a wastin',"
Yeah, they were so clever.
whenever they went to do another caper. That's pretty incredible.
Do you guys remember the cartoon? What was it?
King
Bonkers.
Arthur and the Knights of Justice? No.
Oh, that show was great.
Yeah. The football
hold on.
team that goes back. Sorry. You were saying something
Hold
about
on,
Bonkers.
no. Tell me about this King
Wait, are you
Arthur.
talking about Bonkers Wild Totally Nuts?
Is that the cat, the leopard,
Yeah.
the leopard, and the police officer?
Yeah,
They
it's
were
like
cops.
Chester Cheetah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He was a cat, and he fought crime with a cop. That was supposed to be a Who Framed Roger Rabbit cartoon, and they fought crime. Which, if you think about it, makes complete
makes
sense
total
because
sense.
he's a cartoon.
They-
And it's essentially the same thing as Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Right.
where it's humans living together with actual cartoons, and one of a cartoon is a detective cop, and he's hanging out with an overweight detective cop that they solve crime, which is essentially Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was supposed to be Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
But they couldn't get Roger
Couldn't get
Rabbit to
the-
sign.
the rights or the royalties
rights
or
for
something.
that one is so complicated,
because it was
yeah.
actually based off of a comic strip that they ended up turning into the movie and all that. So the rights for that.
So that's why they had to come up with Bonkers D. Bobcat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what his
So
name
anyways,
was.
I want to know about this
King
this
Arthur and the Knights of
Columbus or
Justice.
whatever.
The Knights of Columbus are a proud organization. They do a lot of great work in the community. No, King Arthur and the Knights of Justice was a show that I remember pretty vividly from my youth, but was struggling for years to remember the name. Basically, this football team from modern day gets sent back in time, and they turn into sort of armored, laser-powered versions of the Arthurian.
Yeah, they would
legends,
launch up around the round table.
Yeah.
Like, they would be distributed around the
Yeah.
King Arthur's court.
All I
with
remember
his
is they're on
table.
the school bus going to their game, and then before you know it, it's back in medieval times.
That's awesome.
They're
Yeah.
total hunks too.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
So-
have you seen Lancelot?
Yeah.
I haven't. And what did this air on?
That is a good. I feel like it was on Kids WB or something like that.
Okay.
I know that Bonkers was on the
It's on
Disney Channel. Yeah.
Was that a Disney afternoon?
It was.
The
It
original?
was indeed.
Yeah.
King Arthur and the Knights of Justice.
Aired on.
It does not
It doesn't say. Well,
say.
I'm just going to throw this out there.
What network were you on?
I'm just going to throw this out there, Nick. You should revamp that for ADHD.
King Arthur's?
Arthur,
I
Knights
know.
of
It would
Justice.
just now it's the idea's out in the ether. So
Yeah.
somebody's gonna steal it.
Listen,
Damn.
copyright that
What
idea.
about-
This podcast
Yeah.
What about
today.
Soccer team
Yeah.
goes back to
A cricket squadron.
back to colonial America.
Colonial? And they
become Paul
they save
Revere and the
witches.
Riders of Justice.
They travel back to the Crucible era and they save witches. They
Yes.
they
Yeah.
save the lives
Yes.
of witches.
Hot witches.
Only hot witches. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, ugly crows.
The witches
Yeah.
summon them to Boston
To save them.
to save them.
And it's soccer, like long-haired soccer players, wild European soccer players.
Yeah.
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 Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I
There's
know. I
a.
don't know.
There's a. Well, he's not. Isn't really. I think he's the only one with long hair that I can think of. For
Ronaldinho?
yeah, for Brazilian soccer players at least.
That's so funny.
I just know it because for
There's-
a long time I was way into FIFA.
Yeah. Hell
And
yeah.
then I think they only had the announcer guy record Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
And they would just play it nonstop,
Yeah,
no
'cause
matter
he just
what
keeps
happened
scoring.
in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, he's not even playing.
Yeah, come
He
on,
had a
man.
career-ending injury in my game.
Oh, and Pele. I got Pele, too.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. Ooh.
Pele.
Imagine Pele with long, flowing locks.
Yeah, doing that flip.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch sports, so this is all. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm going to pretend and say, "Yeah, Pele."
Yeah. He was.
Yeah, the
he's probably like the most famous soccer player.
Is he?
Yeah.
As opposed to David
Yeah, when
Beckham?
you think of like famous baseball player, you're immediately like Babe Ruth. You think
Yeah.
of soccer, you're probably going to say Pele.
Okay.
To give you a analogy.
All right.
He had a series of Nintendo or Super Nintendo games just called Pele, like 95 or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
He had this kick. I don't know if it was just him, but he was on the cover of my game, so that's how I know it must have only been him. And he would just basically flip and kick, so the ball would be coming from behind him over his head.
Yeah.
And he would flip and kick it reverse the other way.
Oh, what is it? The scorpion kick, I think?
It's the
or bicycle kick. Bicycle kick. Yeah.
Wow.
It's like that's like a Street Fighter move.
Yeah,
I don't know if he.
Yeah.
Did he ever do that in a game? Like, I don't understand. I feel like that.
Yoga fire.
He had to have done that in a game at some point, like right, like
he must have done it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
All that had to happen was once by act. He slipped, and then he was like, yeah, that's the bicycle kick.
You saw that? You all saw that? It was purposeful.
Pele.
Give me a video game.
Here's something completely random and off topic of sports. There is a hotline. I'm a huge fan of puns. I don't know if anybody else here likes puns.
They're going to say huge fan of hotlines.
I'm a huge fan of hotlines.
I call everything that comes to my TV
1-800 ABCD hooked on phonics work for me. I'm a huge fan of puns. A lot of people don't like puns. You know, they consider puns and sarcasm the lowest form of humor. But anyways, I'm a huge fan of puns and hotlines. And basically, what I'm getting at is there's a hotline named Callin' Oates. Based off of the popular band Hall & Oates. And it's a hotline that allows a caller to listen to 4 different songs by timeless songwriting Hall of Fame rock duo Hall & Oates. By calling...
Finally.
Yeah.
Hotline.
By calling... Pick up your phones, ladies and gentlemen. By calling 1-71926-OATES, fans can choose between one-on-one, Rich Girl, Man-Eater, and Private Eyes. And it's completely free aside from any long-distance charges.
719. That doesn't sound like the Valley.
It's based out of Colorado, apparently.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Right. Somebody in Colorado wishes they had a yacht that they could sit on and hang out.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're in the middle of Colorado, so they can't do that. So they're like,
at least it's free. That's good.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
very generous.
But, they got to defray some long-distance charges. I don't blame them on that front.
Yeah.
But at least they're not trying to... It's not like 1-900 Oates.
Right. You hear like 30 seconds of the song and then it cuts out. Like,
would you like to hear the rest?
It'll be 1999.
Yeah. Please, sure.
Okay, I can't just leave me hanging. It'll be in my head all day.
I've heard that that's how you get a song out of your head. You have to finish the song.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I think so. It makes sense to me because otherwise you just have that snippet sort of playing on loop. You're trying to figure it out.
I don't know. I've had that Lady Gaga applause song in my head a lot, and every time I hear it, it just
resets
just resets it.
So your mileage may vary is the decision on how to get rid of an earworm.
Yeah, I don't think there's an exact.
I think the only way to really get rid of it is to have a different song get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe by calling that Hall & Oates number.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in my save button right now. Put that on.
Get rid of Lady Gaga.
Fast call.
Well, this is sort of unrelated, but New Year's just happened recently.
Yeah,
it's a fun evening.
I did, as we all know. We were all partaking in the same events.
Yeah, we
had
ourselves a time. And I'm sure many people across the country had themselves a time. Some people may have had too much fun. This is really interesting because, once people, they tend to get drunk, get a little rowdy, and sometimes they say things they don't mean, say things that start instigating. In California, using fighting words is a criminal offense punishable by $400 fine and 90 days in jail.
Whoa.
Yeah, according to California Penal Code Section 415, any person who uses offensive words in a public place which are inherently likely to provoke an immediate violent reaction can be found guilty and have to pay $400.
I don't think that's ever been enforced. And also, I thought that the letter of the law was fighting words.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like a holdover from the gold rush.
Yeah, I wish. That would be pretty amazing. Them there's fighting words.
And now we better put something in there about fighting words. We don't want people to muss themselves up.
Women have to wear turtlenecks.
Oh, yes.
Dang nabbit, concern it.
Wow.
Concern it. There's a bygone relic.
I just remember anytime I say like dang nabbit or concern it, there's a Simpsons episode where Bart says it or whatever. He's like, dang nabbit, concern it. And like his grandfather's like, hey, watch it.
Yeah.
Grandpa Simpson.
That's good.
Here's something that's really cool. This is here's something that's interesting. Quick story about a little funny precursor to this. I have 2 nephews, and one of my nephews is 3. And apparently, I seen my sister-in-law on Facebook the other day post something that my nephew Jackson said, and he's like, I'll paraphrase it because I don't remember it exactly, but he's like, I don't want to grow up, Mom. I don't want to get any bigger than I am. I want to be 3 or whatever. And to me, that's like, what an idiot. He obviously doesn't understand the concept of roller coaster height restriction.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like I'm a huge fan of roller coasters, and if you don't want to get any bigger, like, come on, dude. You want to get bigger, if anything, just to ride roller coasters.
Or like blowjobs. There's a lot out there, buddy.
Yes. Yeah, come on, dude.
Is there a height restriction for that?
Well, I mean, maybe an age restriction. Maybe.
You must be at least 42 inches tall. Or have a fast pass.
Or I mean, I think. Well, I mean, in high school, I think 16, but to get real ones, you got to be 18, right?
Right.
'Cause
yeah.
No high school girl knows how to give the proper blowjob.
No.
It's, I think if you're talking about a sheer age of consent, please consult your local state constitution.
Disclaimer.
We don't want to be responsible for anything. You heard it here. You're taking that information into your own hands, taking it to the knowledge bank, making a deposit.
And no fighting words.
No fighting words.
Yeah.
But anyways, Coney Island, the Coney Island Cyclone roller coaster, once helped a mute man regain his ability to speak.
What?
Yeah, in 1943, West Virginian coal miner Emilio Franco lost his. That's just the old. Of course, he was a coal miner.
That sounds like a made-up identity already.
Yeah, this story sounds.
I'm
very
Emilio
thin.
Franco, the West Virginia coal miner. Who else would I be?
Wait, how are you talking, Emilio? I went on the roller coaster.
This is a recording.
I went on a roller coaster. Emilio Franco lost his ability to speak. Doctors couldn't find any medical explanation, so he remained mute. 6 years later, in 1949, Franco stopped speaking. What? 6 years after Franco stopped speaking in 1949, he rode the Coney Island Cyclone coaster with his cousin. The coaster was billed as the most fearsome coaster ever built and featured an 80-foot drop. When Franco stumbled off the ride, his first words in years were, "I feel sick."
That is the ending to What About Bob?
That sounds like it's definitely.
So they just ripped off Emilio Franco's life.
Yeah, they did. You know, he basically does. What's his face? The guy
Richard
Dreyfuss. He loses it because Bob has ruined his life, and he just becomes comatose.
Yeah,
And he's at the wedding of Bob and his daughter.
yeah.
And so his whole life is in shambles, and he's just in a wheelchair, just the catatonic. And then the priest says, "Anybody have anything to say?" And he goes, "No!" And they're like, "Dad's back!" And then he's like, "Oh," and he's back. So
I remember that.
So it
Oh,
happens.
damn, that's such a good movie.
It's such a good
What
movie.
about Bob?
So good.
According to the wiki
Baby
page
steps.
here, voted number 43 on Bravo's 100 funniest movies. So if you go to Bravo for your funny movies,
It is so good.
there you go.
It is so good.
It is really, really good.
Yeah.
The son in that was also in Dick Tracy, I believe, right?
And
Hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love me some Hook. Do you know who the pirate is? Who?
Bob Hoskins.
No. Let me finish.
Dustin
Let me finish,
Hoffman.
dude. No, the one who gets put in the boo box.
Yes, that's Jimmy Buffett.
Huh?
Jimmy Buffett's a pirate in Hook, too.
No.
No, Glenn Close.
Oh, Glenn Close. Yes, okay, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of crazy pirate cameos, but my favorite is when they're all fighting on the deck when Pan comes down to the ship.
Yeah, that's right.
Starts the huge sword fight. Pay attention to the extras because there's one dude who's just fighting no one, but it's still like really committing to his sword thrusts.
I just saw some BuzzFeed internet trap about like extras misbehaving.
Yeah.
And I hate BuzzFeed so much, but you fall into it.
You
and
can't
an
stop
hour
reading.
Later, yeah, you're lost.
Only 3 more? Okay.
Sure, it's internet
Yeah.
prison. I hate it. But you literally, like, in Willy Wonka, they pan up past these kids, and there's one kid, and he's just pointing at his wiener. And then he
love it.
does like a thumbs up, and it's the most. He's like, and he looks like it's from the times where all those
Yeah.
kids look like they were like
Just a little scamp.
yeah, little scampy guys like eating like an apple core and smoking like a butt of a cigarette, in
Yeah.
like a pier somewhere. It's like, that little asshole.
That's there was a kid, and one of the Doc Brown's sons at the end of Back to the Future 3 was doing that too on the train when Doc's talking to Marty. Doc's like leaning down, giving Marty the gift of the photograph from them standing by the clock, and Clara is standing behind Doc in the purple, in her purple dress.
Yeah.
And then their 2 sons, Jules and Vern, are standing there, and one of them's just pointing at his dick, and it's like,
That's awesome.
it's like, man, come on, dude. It's so, and like, it made it in the movie, and it's
This is probably a little bit better known, but the opening to Louis, the guy who flips Louis off, that was just a random extra who took it upon himself to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he loved it so much he left it in the opening.
That's awesome. Speaking of pirates, we were talking about pirates here a little bit ago. about Hook. Eye patches weren't just an evil-looking fashion accessory. Here's a little bit of fun trivia about the eye patch. Pirates and sailors wore them for practical reasons. Sunlight is magnified on the ocean. Below deck is very dark. As a result, it would take sailors precious minutes for their vision to adjust when going back and forth between decks. So the eye patch would allow them to switch back and forth between their bright eye and their low light eye. So it would, when your pupils dilate when you see a bright light or a dark light, it's hard to see. So they would keep the eye patch on their eye to keep their pupil focused.
Yeah,
for
you keep it in darkness. So that way
so they go down, they switch it, and then they can see in the dark.
Yeah.
How many things did they run into while getting down there?
I'm sure tons.
Like how many masts and sails did they just smack into?
The mizzen mast again.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was just going to say. Never mind.
Oh, dark eye.
Something about pirates. Oh yeah, no, I've read that. I've read that when you get up in the middle of the night, you're trying to find the bathroom or something. You're only supposed to open one eye because it'll help you adjust quicker.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How do you only open one eye when you wake up?
You just keep one eye closed like a person. If you can't voluntarily open both your eyes, then this does not apply to you. But you can open both eyes and say, "Hey, I'm awake. Let me close one so I can find the bathroom."
I wonder what that is.
What did Dan say to me the other day? I got to close one of these eyes.
Yeah, let's close both your eyes and pee your bed.
Okay, very good. Yeah. I once had a dream as a child. It was recently, but I'll say it as a child. And it was just me standing in front of myself naked. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like kind of in the Da Vinci Man pose.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
the
that's a weird...
Vitruvian Man.
Yeah, like this is a weird dream. It was like kind of a little bit of a lucid dream. I was like, why am I looking at a naked version of myself? And then my naked version just started peeing. And I was like,
God damn it, me.
Like, that's weird. That's really weird. And then I woke up and I was peeing in my bed.
Oh, no.
And I was like, it was a warning. I had seen the future.
Yeah.
And I just
the prophecy has come true at last.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's a warning.
That's speaking of warnings. We have some pretty hilarious stuff about.
Give us some warnings.
The World Health Organization has a hilariously specific set of codes for nearly every medical condition and diagnosis.
Who?
The World Health Organization.
Who?
Yes.
I get it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you like puns?
I like.
Is that a pun?
It's a pun. It's a play on words.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to.
It's an acronym.
Speaking of puns,
yeah.
there's a company I think based out of Massachusetts. They're a demolition company called called Edifice Rex. Come on, that's fucking hilarious.
A demolition company called Edifice Rex?
Yes.
Oh, like they're wrecking Edifice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like Oedipus Rex, but for building. Anyway,
what is Edifice?
Fuck you guys.
Hold on, what's Edifice? I'm not
building.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But how many? But are they also into their moms? Like, I feel like it has to have a connection to the source material.
Well, it has to sound like it.
Okay, that's true.
Because it's a play on words.
Right.
No. It's. Anyway, you guys are wrong.
Who?
The World Health Organization.
I'll give you a way to cut back in. Who?
Okay, so we got off the rails. Long story short, World Health Organization has a hilariously specific set of codes for all sorts of maladies, conditions, diagnoses, you name it. Called the ICD-10, stands for the International Statistical Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems. The 10 means it's the 10th version. Yeah. Code allows for more than 14,400 different codes to track new different diagnoses. Can be expanded to 16,000 with optional subclassifications, but that's boring. Let's get to the funny ones.
Nerd alert.
Right? So, if you hear your doctor say, we have a code W5922XA, that means you've been struck by a turtle.
Whoa.
Struck by a turtle. If you hear him say A281, cat scratch disease, cat scratch fever, maybe you just happen to be Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uncle Ted.
This is why people go to med school for 8 years.
Yeah, pretty much, because they got to memorize all these. V9542XA is a spacecraft crash injuring the occupant, and this is the initial encounter.
The initial encounter.
Wow.
Another spacecraft did not crash into it.
Yeah.
Do you think doctors are just like, just cut it out, who?
Yeah. Come on.
Great, thanks.
When am I going to use this?
Yeah,
I wish I had a
perfect.
code to refer to this in shorthand.
You know, the astronaut, he's hurt. He's hurt. I can't understand you, Doc. He's injured very bad. Like, WD-do. Give me the book. Give me the book.
This is pretty... W5609XA. Other contact with dolphin, initial encounter. The other is what bothers me in that situation. What sort of contact?
Rape. I mean, dolphins rape humans.
That is true.
And humans seek out pleasure with dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We swim with them.
Mm-hmm. And people screw dolphins a lot.
Yeah.
The Florida
Hold
woman
on.
was arrested recently.
Because I don't.
Is this from the wonderful Twitter account Florida Man and Florida Woman?
Oh, no. I
is
didn't know
that a thing?
exists, but that's great.
Those are, they're pretty great. They just aggregate really ridiculous headlines from Florida-based crimes, and just it's a Twitter feed.
It's my favorite thing in the world,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
awesome.
it. It's my new favorite.
Florida Man, Florida Woman. That's great.
So wait, hold on, because dolphins are mammals.
Yeah,
So
they've got blowholes.
Dolphins have dicks. I'm assuming, right? And
Yeah,
they have vaginas.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a dolphin vagina,
I've never seen a dolphin vagina.
it looks magnificent.
Really?
Yeah.
Looks like a.
There are people who there's a guy who wrote a whole book about living with dolphins and having sex with them, and he loved them, and he was like it's the most, it's a real connect, he's a sick fuck, but
Yeah. Was
he
he
believes in
also
it.
was he also the voice of the policeman on Cops?
It's fish fucking time. Yeah, I guess he had a reason to disappear then. Yeah. I'll go to a book signing.
Well, this is
at the pleasure chest.
say you're not feeling up to banging your pet dolphin on a particular evening.
Sure.
Your doctor might say you have a G4482. That's a headache associated with sexual activity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so not tonight. I have a headache.
Wow. Honey.
There's a code for that.
Yeah.
Here's something fun. Speaking of like dolphins and swimming or whatever. If you ever fuck it, CPR. I'm getting at it. I was going to do a segue about drowning or
right.
choking or whatever. When you're studying CPR, if you're taking CPR classes, they will teach you and train you to perform CPR along to the songs of Staying Alive and Another One Bites the Dust, because both of those songs, their rhythms are 100 beats per minute, and that's the pattern you should be performing
It feels
CPR
like
to.
one of those songs is totally appropriate and the other one
Yeah.
is completely inappropriate.
Depends on whether or not you like the person. Well, I accidentally broke their sternum. Oh, that reminds me of
Another one by the dust. Another one
That's
by
funny.
the dust.
Holy shit. I didn't even realize that, but yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep the guy, holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen,
you're just
these are full.
taunting him.
Well, you can tell by the way you come up. Another one by the dust. Oh, shit.
Back in middle school, we
That's
had
fucking funny. Holy
we had a
shit.
class. We had like a health
crazy.
class
This
where you're
gotta be on
supposed to
purpose.
learn
Gotta be.
all these different like health skills. They teach you this thing on CPR. But as public school, they couldn't have us practice on real people for whatever reason. So they brought in this little child doll, and they put a little pill in its throat, and you're supposed to perform the CPR, get the pill to pop out. I went up to do it. Everyone else was doing fine. I went up to do it. I pressed down once. The pill shoots out, and the baby doll's head flies off in the other direction. So please don't ever let me perform CPR on your child.
I thought you were going to say that you pressed down on the doll's body and then the pill
Shot
popped
up into your mouth.
Oh, yeah, I started.
I was thinking that same thing.
No. This has an O. Henry-like twist.
I was really hoping he'd say that.
Yeah.
Because then I would be like, oh, he stayed alive.
Seems a bit hacky. It's been done.
Here's a completely random fact. A little bit of a food fact and old saying fact. We like to have food facts on this show, and we like to have
Food fact.
We like to have popular phrases, facts, and stuff like that. If I were to tell you the phrase, if I were to say, "Well, when it rains, it pours," Nicholas, what do you think What do you think that would mean? What do you think that comes from?
I don't know where it comes from, but it means, when it's bad, it's real bad.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it doesn't. And I'll explain. When it rains, it pours is actually a marketing
It's a slogan.
copy. It's a slogan. It was derived for the salt company, Morton Salt.
The little girl in the
The
umbrella.
girl with the umbrella. It's their advertising slogan. When it rains, it pours. It was written for them, for their salt, because when they invented the salt and when they were trying to sell their salt, when that was before salt was as common of a thing, and salt would primarily in humid weather or in rainy weather, it would clump up. And the salt would clump up and you wouldn't be able to use salt. So Morton Salt figured out how to make salt that didn't clump up and accumulate or whatever.
Anti-clump
Coagulate,
technology.
Yeah.
Right.
They invented an anti-coagulation salt.
Good thing we have a representative of the Morton Salt Company here.
And they invented that because when it would rain and when it would get really humid, Morton Salt would still pour out and not clump
It's got
up.
that little spout.
Yeah, so the phrase "when it rains, it pours" does not actually mean, when it's bad, it gets really bad. It just means our salt is better than every other salt, and it's going to pour out and not clump up when it rains.
But us people, we just made that into the most depressing statement ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can pour salt on the wound.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, it really doesn't make sense when you say when it rains it pours, because when it drizzles, it's a drizzling. So somehow or another, somebody started saying that. Oh, my life sucks when it rains it pours. Somebody started saying
they
that.
were probably in Los Angeles, because when it rains in Los Angeles, there's 100 car accidents in 3 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
I love it when it rains in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's nice, unless you happen to be around anyone else on any road, period.
You have to get somewhere.
Yeah. Speaking of terrible things relating to you and your car, I was horrified to learn this recently, and I hope no one in any of these states we're about to talk about fell victim to this. In Illinois, Minnesota, and Colorado, there may be some other states, but these are the ones that I read about. Illinois, Minnesota, Colorado, you can receive a DUI for sleeping in your car, even if it's parked, if you're under the influence.
Oh, wow.
You don't have to actually be driving to be convicted of driving under the influence. By being parked in your car, you are, quote, in control of your car. And if you happen to have a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08% or more, you can be convicted.
Oh, wow.
But I feel like you should just be given like a Medal of Honor.
Yeah, especially, I feel like you're not actively driving the car.
You're being responsible.
I'm trying to sleep this off so I don't cause any accidents. I feel like that's some real quota bullshit.
Yeah. Well, there's some really dumb law. California now has a law which, look, I don't want people driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs or anything like that. So I'm completely against drunk driving and all of that, but I am against entrapment as well. And now California passed a law that if you're stopped at a DUI checkpoint, they can swab your mouth to see if you're on any drugs.
Really?
So that's
really?
That's a new law.
Man.
As well.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to ask. Nick, are you a cop?
No.
Okay,
No.
you have to tell us if you're a cop.
Yeah.
I think you actually don't have to tell you because technically it puts the cop in danger. I've heard
does.
this too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
that doesn't
we
work.
should look into.
There's a loophole for that?
Yeah.
There's a loophole for everything.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah.
We were talking about locations. You mentioned, all those cities. Here's a fun fact about locations.
My favorite category.
Here's a
location fact.
Location facts for 200, please. In the northern hemisphere, we have the Aurora Borealis. But in the south, it's actually called Aurora Australis.
A little arrogant.
Yeah.
A little on the nose there.
In northern latitudes...
Wonder who came up with that.
Steve Australia. The famed astronomer.
Mr. Foster's.
Australian for me.
In northern latitudes, the effect is known as the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights, named after the Roman goddess of dawn, Aurora, and the Greek name for the north wind, Boreas, by Pierre Gassendi in 1621. Its southern counterpart, the Aurora Australis, or the Southern Lights, has features that are almost identical to the Aurora Borealis and changes simultaneously in the northern auroral zone. It's visible from high southern latitudes in Antarctica, South America, New Zealand, and Australia.
Man, but those are all chemtrails, man. That ain't no natural phenomena. It's dumbing us down.
Chemtrails...
Well, that's why you don't let prisoners name your natural phenomena.
I found out something. Here's an interesting fact, but I don't have the rest of it.
That's fine.
Is that
I very
Outback
rarely do.
Steakhouse, no rules, just right, is not an Australian chain at all. It was started by two Florida businessmen.
Really?
Yeah, I'd believe that.
Yeah,
it's
not Australian whatsoever.
based in Tampa with over 1,200 locations in 22 countries.
Yeah.
Fuck. Can I tell you what?
Oh, they were giving out free bloomin' onions yesterday.
What for?
I don't know. They're celebrating some sort of weird holiday
awesome.
for the company.
Oh, right.
3,000 calories. 3,000 calories in a single bloomin' onion.
So good, though.
That's delicious.
Holy shit.
Remember when that bloomin' onion maker was on late night TV? It was just a way you could chop your onion and then deep fry it and make your own at home. I thought that was going to sink that restaurant.
Yeah, and it didn't.
Turns out nobody has a deep fryer.
No, yeah.
It was missing
Big
a
enough
major
to-
component.
Big enough to hold a bloomin' onion
Yeah,
in its
nobody
form.
could do it.
They own two blimps named the Bloomin' Onion 1 and the Bloomin' Onion 2.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you guys. Come up with something better than that.
The Blimp Aurora Australialis.
Putting all their eggs in that bloomin' onion basket.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of eggs to fry all those onions. You
tell you
gotta
what,
make the
it
egg
does.
wash.
Yeah.
as like shitty and as much of a farce like Florida type of that type of, I mean, it is, with laws and things that happen in there, like the Twitter Florida man and Florida woman. Florida, like Outback I love Outback Steakhouse. Florida, I used to live in Florida, and they have all that, like the shitty fast food chains like Applebee's and Chili's, but they're so good though. Like I love those chains.
I like Chili's.
Out here we don't really have them because you have all the, there's not a lot. There's like a Chili's by LAX, and I think there's one in Burbank. They're not as prevalent as in the Midwest or on the East Coast. And I love Chili's. That Chili's queso dip is so good.
The Chili's queso dip is incredible.
That's so good.
It's so good.
Is that a fact?
It's a fact.
It's good. It's got like ground beef in it.
Oh.
It's so good. It comes in its own little skillet with its own little skillet hot handle protector on a wooden platter.
Usually just like, don't burn off all your skin.
Yeah. No,
Good luck.
They protect. You can pick it up and chuck it around.
It's so good. And if Chili's...
You guys play toss the skillet?
Yeah, you play toss the skillet from table to table. It's a big Chili's tradition.
If anybody's from Chili's is listening, I will be more than happy to accept free...
Yeah, today's episode brought to you by Queso Dip.
Queso Dip.
It is really good.
It's very good.
You can find a Chili's. You just got to go outside of LA proper.
Yeah. Like LA. There's one by Crenshaw.
There's some in the Valley too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I would wager money that Burbank is 90% Chili's.
And then there's the Chili's 2.
Oh, yeah.
Chili's 2. What is that? Son of Chili's?
Airport Chili's.
Airport
Electric
Chili's.
Boogaloo?
Or like California Pizza Kitchen ASAP.
Oh, no. CPK ASAP?
Yeah, yep.
I'm going to go ahead and say I do not care for CPK.
Never had it.
Well, don't.
I like CPK. What I don't like is they're like, while we prepare your gourmet hand-stretched crust pizza, let us bring you some stale white bread.
Yeah.
Straight out of like a corner store, like this, nothing. His cold butter with it.
Yeah.
And lukewarm bread that is stale white sandwich bread.
If we're talking about breads,
This
Cheesecake
is
Factory.
This is sub-pigeon grade.
It's amazing that that's even a thing that.
If we're talking about like appetizer breads, Cheesecake Factory has the best appetizer bread.
Oh yeah, the brown bread.
That brown bread is so good, dude.
But you know who else does too?
Oh.
Outback Steakhouse. The brown loaf that they bring to your table and they stick the knife in
Really?
the top.
I haven't been there in a while, but I'm gonna. Now I want to
Just
go.
as good.
Fuck it. Brown
It's
bread
like a
is so
honey
good.
wheat or something.
I don't know what that brown bread is, but it's so good.
So good.
I gotta find it.
It's a proprietary trade
I
secret.
love that you knew exactly what I was.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to
Only-
talk about the brown bread.
Only Cheesecake Factory union reps can tell you.
So good.
There's got to be some secret.
Got to talk to the foreman.
Yeah.
So good.
It is really good.
So
And it's brown, so you're like, this is good for me.
yeah.
You're like, I'm going to pass on this tiny
gonna
French
mean healthier,
loaf.
right? It's gonna
Oh,
mean
the
healthier.
white bread when I'm not some sort of glutton.
Yeah.
Oh, more brown bread.
I love how you right away think it's better for you
Yeah.
because it's not bleached.
But it
and
just
it's
has
not-
more brown sugar.
yeah.
Like, it literally is just sugar bread.
It's got to be it.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
So good.
Speaking of bread,
No, let us go on more. I mean, I could eat so much
So
of that.
much
By
of
the
this
time they
brown
bring my food, I'm like,
I
just bring me more bread.
I order my meal with the to-go box before they even bring it. Just because
take
give me
that
more
to go.
bread.
Give me more bread.
Give me more brown bread.
Don't even waste your time with the white bread. Just leave it out of the basket.
Just give me double brown breads, please. And water's all around.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I wonder if there's a point at which they cut you off for limitless breadsticks at a place like Olive Garden.
Oh, no, they haven't cut me off yet.
Yeah.
I used to work at Macaroni Grill.
Okay.
And the big thing at Macaroni Grill, if you've ever been, is like there's white paper on the table, and you have to learn how to write your name upside down. Mm-hmm. And you write, my name is Nick. You write upside down, and you go, "This is our house wine. Help yourself to it. We put it on your table for you. Just make a little tally mark over here if you want, and keep track of how many glasses you've had, and then try to be honest." But and then they hand you the bottle, and it's done. And the glass of wine is. They charge like $6 for it.
Uh-huh.
The bottle of wine to produce costs, I think, 70 cents.
Wow.
So it was
So
just
it's like prison wine.
Yeah, it was literally prison wine, and then like people would like shave off a couple. I think I only had 3, and you're like, "Oh, sir, okay, you're taking a bite out of the
my
big
God.
guy."
Yeah.
No, you could have just downed a whole bottle and been like, "I had none of it."
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
I mean,
They don't
it's,
care at all.
it keeps them honest, but it's also...
Yeah, if they wind up
Pure
making
profit.
money off of it, great.
Yeah, they're making money no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of prison and
Wait,
prison
one more
wine-
time, the
One more time,
CPK
the
bread. Literally, I wouldn't even give that to like my son if he behaved bad, and I'd put it on his sandwich and his lunch if I knew a bully was going to take it. Wouldn't even let a bully take
I
it.
wouldn't let a bully take
This isn't
that.
even bully worthy. Well, speaking of prison and bread and fucking prison and wine and prison, the longest
That's
prison
funny.
sentence of all time. The longest prison sentence of all time. How long do you think it was?
Oh wow. I mean, I'm gonna I don't want to do that thing where I highball it and
Just
then
get,
you're like,
I want
wasn't that
Price is
long.
Right style, long as without going over.
Okay,
If you say
I would-
1 year, you're stupid.
I would say like 100 lifetimes.
100 lifetimes, so...
But yeah, like 100 life sentences. They do that, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, what would you say that is in like in numerical years? Like,
It'll be like 720 years, I guess.
720 years? Okay, what do you think?
No, it'll be 7,200 years.
Yeah, it's...
I'm going to say 10 years.
10 years? Close, close. Our winner is Nick because it's
Oh.
384,912 years.
Holy shit.
Wow, so
That was given to a 22-year-old postman in Spain
who was sleeping in his car
because
after having a few too many
he may have because
Merlots.
he was convicted of failing to deliver 42,768 letters.
What?
Yeah, so he got almost 400,000 years in prison for failing to deliver 42,768 letters. He was accused of fraud for his crime. This guy, happened March 11th, 1972. Gabriel March Granados from Palma, Mallorca was sentenced to 384,912 years in prison. Accused of fraud for not delivering the letters. That's resulting in a huge punishment by the Spanish judiciary, and it's the longest sentence in history anywhere. According to another source, apparently this sentence was requested by the prosecutor. So while he was actually, he was sentenced to this, he only served 14 years and 2 months.
That's how it always happens. The
Yeah.
system is so broken.
Right? Where is our justice? Where is our mail?
That's one sentence that did not deliver.
Heyo. Really put your stamp on that bit.
That's for Razzle.
Here's the
that's
deal.
good, too.
Here's the deal.
I'm too
Can I tell
excited
you,
about
this has been a really, like, I just want to say, as you know, we're approaching our time. This has been a really fun episode, just because of all the jokes and the puns and the callbacks to brown bread and park.
You want to get into brown bread
And
again?
listen, and talking, sleeping in your car drinking Merlot because you drank too many at the Macaroni Grill.
If you want to hear them
all sorts of
talk
things.
more about bread, subscribe to their new podcast, Gluten Freaks.
Gluten Freaks on the All Things Comedy Network, hosted by me and Nick Rutherford.
And the Wonder Boy, of course.
And we all... that's fun.
That's real fun.
That's fun. Well, as we're wrapping up here, Nicholas, Nick, what do you got to plug? Plug anything you got. Plug anything you want.
Oh, I don't know.
Say whatever.
I don't know.
This will come out next Monday, so whatever. We have
Next
people,
Monday. I don't know. Just follow me on Twitter at Nick Rutherford.
Nick
RUTHER.
So it's a good central hub for people.
Yeah, that's the best you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you still doing? I'm a huge fan of this. You were on YouTube for a while. You were doing Theater of Life.
Oh yeah.
Are you still doing those? Those are so fucking funny.
You know, there was talk about doing that again in the new year. Except I can't do it with Bet because he doesn't live in this.
Yeah, that's right.
He's now in New York.
Can you
and
Skype him in?
I could Skype him in. I've also thought about doing guest hosts and just because originally it was going to be like it would just constantly be a rotating guest, and then Beck and I just did it all the time. And so I'm thinking about it. I just know there would be such a backlash right out of the gate of people just being like, "Where the fuck is Beck?"
Yeah.
Like just the most horrible.
Yeah.
And maybe I just got to ignore it for a while and just make it.
Unless you both did them with guest hosts from L.A. and New York. And you
Yeah,
both did
I don't even
episodes.
think he can do that. I think like contractually
He can't
from
do
being
any-
on
Oh,
that's
SNL.
interesting.
Yeah, they can't do any internet.
Yeah, but didn't he do?
Or TV.
Didn't he? He's got, but he can do commercials, right? 'Cause
I
he's
think
got
they
that
must have.
Allstate, right? Or he's got.
Yeah,
is that,
AT&T.
AT&T commercial.
I actually auditioned for that same
Oh,
role.
really?
Yeah.
See, they. I think I'm sure that was a standing contract,
Probably has to
and
be.
they figured it all out.
Yeah. Anyways, I really like those. Theater of Life. If you're fucking bored, look up Theater of Life on YouTube and just they're so fucking funny.
They were so fun. I really
so
hope to
funny.
do them again. I just hope people don't hate me for it.
Yeah.
Fake and gay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fake and gay. I love that.
So at Nicholas Rutherford,
Yeah,
on
at
Twitter,
Nick Rutherford.
at Nick Rutherford on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, watch.
And he's got watch Adult Swim. Not Adult Swim. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
ADHD.
ADHD.
ADHD on Fox.
Fox's answer to Adult Swim.
Watch Adult Swim's younger, cooler brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
You produce on
ADHD.
that show, right?
I produce and write a couple of the shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Axe Cop is really good.
My buddy draws for that, or my buddy John
really?
Devilman does illustrations for Axe Cop.
Oh, he must be in the office.
Yeah,
then.
Plus, their Lucas Bros movie.
Lucas Bros just coming out soon. There's a new show going. Major
High School
Lazer.
USA.
High School USA is on. Yeah.
It's
Major
fun. Lazer's coming out, and that's you wrote that, right?
That's when I'm writing. Yeah.
No, sick.
Well, I wrote
that
Axe
one?
Cop too, but that was created by other people.
They are.
But you created Major Lazer.
No, I can't.
No.
Yeah.
Major Lazer created Major Lazer.
Yeah, Major Lazer's the guy.
Diplo and other dude.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin Katsuki.
Are they the guys that invented that Bubble Butt song?
Yes.
So they're like a comedy group that invented a real popular.
No,
they're like it's like a lot of like really like reggaeton dance hall like
dance hall beats and
dub inspired, not dubstep, dub.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And they just tour around the world to just like stadiums.
I've been to a bunch of their shows. I remember I was at one of this tiny venue in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I caught a giant foam laser that they threw into the audience.
Oh,
They're
nice.
fantastic live. You'll dance your butt off.
He goes in like a ball over the crowd. It's a nutty show.
And they have the best backup dancers.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
I got to check it out.
Yeah.
It sounds really cool. Cool. So ADHD on Fox.
Yeah.
At Nick Rutherford on Twitter.
That's right.
And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at mynamesrazzle2.
You can find me at OsteoFerocious.
And you can follow the podcast at TWL Podcast on Twitter. Like our Facebook page at Today We Learned with Razzle and Dan. Please tell your friends to listen to the show and subscribe. And also, if you can, give us a good review on iTunes and leave a comment. We'd really, really appreciate that. And you can, if you have any fun facts or trivia, you can tweet them at us, or you can email us at twlpodcast@gmail.com. And as always,
when in doubt, the bread is free.
The bread is free, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.